We're
does.
not making any money, so we got to have fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to start it. My name is Adam
Okay.
Barringer. I'm the founder of SoNapa Grille. I'm here with my business partner, Chris Botting. We have our director of
Okay.
marketing, Emily. And this is just a special edition of our Grapes and Debates podcast, really for our wine club members to learn about the wine that they're about to get. Tuesday, they'll pick up their wine. We have probably about 120 members between our three stores. And we've got Kenny Kahn, the owner of Blue Rock Winery. It's an honor to have you.
Well, thank you. But I have to give some credit to the other owner of Blue Rock Vineyard, and that's First Republic Bank. Remember those
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
This is the wine business. But
Yeah.
no, I'm so happy to be with you guys. And we really appreciate working with you because, we're a small winery and we're a discovery. And we rely on great merchants like you guys
Hmm.
because the way things are going in the wine business today, you've got these behemoth wineries that everybody knows about, and then you've got us small guys, and we're
Sure.
waiting for our discovery.
Well, I got to tell you that you have some amazing wines. We tasted through them. The three wines that we're going to be featuring in the wine club will be the Baby Blue Sauv Blanc,
Yep.
the Blue Rock Red Blend, and then the Blue Rock Cab, which is what I have in my glass right now.
Well,
So
I'm
why don't you
drinking the
tell? Why
blend.
don't you? So Kenny, why don't you tell our listeners and our wine club members what's the history of Blue Rock? Because you said it was founded back in the 1800s.
It was founded in the 1800s, and then I'll bring us up to date. So
Okay.
originally, so first we're located in northern Sonoma County near the wonderful wine town of Geyserville.
Okay.
And the winery was bonded in 1880 as Villa Maria Winery. It was Italian immigrants who came in mostly from Piedmonte, and they were attracted to the area because it looks, if you could see it, and I would invite all of you to come out and visit us because our hospitality is like nothing that you've ever seen. It's just wonderful. But if you see it, it looks just like Tuscany. It's beautiful rolling hills, and of course they could grow grapes. Good for us. They brought in great vine cuttings. They brought in a knowledge of winemaking and viticulture. We have olive trees, and we make an estate olive oil. And so the original settlers didn't survive Prohibition, where some of our neighbors did. Like we share a fence line with Sagacio
Oh
Winery.
yeah.
And the Sagacio family, they really eked out a living selling sacramental wine.
Oh sure.
And, we all know that, during Prohibition, you could drink. If you were religious, you could drink, right? You could make 200 gallons a year. So the Sagacios actually survived by selling grapes, selling sacramental
Hmm.
wine. And anyway, I'll fast forward 100 years to right around 1980, where I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. We knew nothing about fine wine or fine dining. I mean, it was just like, you know,
Barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah, still a great
Yeah.
barbecue.
Barbecue in Beale Street.
Barbecue in Beale Street and bourbon, a little bit of,
Hmm.
Mad Dog 2020. That's what I grew up on. But my discovery, I think all of us here today had, there's a kind of a moment where you say, wow, you have a great glass of wine and a wonderful conversation, and you say, this is interesting. I want to learn more. For me, I was in my late 20s, just married to my wife of 46 years, Cheryl, and we lived next door to Milton Picard, Pick. And Pick, a lawyer in his 70s, kind of adopted us as his children. And the reason I'm telling you this is that he had been collecting first growth Bordeaux and Burgundy from the 1950s and 60s. And we'd go over to his house and he had this giant smile on his face. He'd bring out the Baccarat glasses and say, Kenny, Cheryl, he's so excited. I want to share this wine with you. Try this. 1955 Margaux. What do you think?
Wow.
Then he'd bring out even better stuff. He'd bring out Domaine Romani Conti, 1961. What do you think of Pinot Noir with his southern accent?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, he changed our lives.
Yeah.
He
Hmm.
changed our lives. And so we didn't have children at the time. We're just starting our professional career. Cheryl is a neuroradiologist, now an artist.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to see her work. You got to come out and visit us. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm so proud of her.
Oh,
I was in the investment business. So we moved to California, packed up our bags, put Aldo, our dog, in the back seat, said, let's go. 1985, we moved to California. The only problem, big eyes, big dreams, no money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we started our professional careers and we also started looking for land. And coming from Memphis, we didn't really know. We knew we wanted to be in the wine and food business. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just wine. But we didn't know how to do that because we're, from the South. So it took us a couple of years of looking, and the first thing we realized is that we couldn't afford anything in Napa because we were just getting started in
Mm-hmm.
our careers. After 2 years of looking, we found this derelict property, 120-acre hillside next to, but it was just, everything was gone. It was really a wreck, but it was beautiful. It was next door to a startup winery called Silver Oak. You ever heard of
Oh,
those guys? But that's not why we bought it. We just bought it because we'd been looking for 2 years and that was all we could afford. And it was gorgeous. You got to see it. It's gorgeous. So for us, that was the start of our adventure. We wanted to do something great that, we could dream about. But all of our travel had been to Europe. I mean, we are Francophiles. We love Italy.
mm-hmm.
We love everything about Europe. We love the lifestyle. It's about food, wine, hospitality, family, enjoying your life. And that's how we wanted to live our lives. So we wanted to bring that to Blue Rock. So that's what we've spent the last 38 years doing, is making Blue Rock just this great estate built on food, wine, hospitality. Um, Everybody working at Blue Rock wants to be there. They enjoy the place and they love it the way we do. When people visit us, their jaws drop. I mean, really, it's like they can't believe what they see, and that's the way we live our lives. Sadly, we don't make any money, but we every day we wake up, it's like we thank God for being able to do what we do.
Wow. That's
that's awesome.
awesome. That's awesome. So I noticed you source most of your grapes from Sonoma, or is it all
Well, we
grapes?
don't we don't really we don't really source grapes. So we
Like,
have two estate vineyards.
okay.
Well, that's not true. We do source a little bit for the Baby Blue Blanc, for the
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc. But in the Alexander Valley, Sonoma's, it's really an interesting county. Like Napa's is, Cabernet, Cabernet,
Sure.
Cabernet. Sonoma, because the closer you are to the ocean, the colder it is, the windier, there's
Mm-hmm.
wind and fog and so on. So there you're talking about aromatic varietals like,
Pin-
aromatic whites. And at our Gapstone Vineyard in the Petaluma Gap
mm-hmm.
appellation, we
Hmm.
grow Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Viognier, Semillon, and Sauvignon Blanc. And it's an amazing vineyard. We've got Gap's Crown on one side of us and San Giacomo's Roberts Road on the other side of us. So
Okay.
we're talking about like the best
The
real estate in
sure.
Sonoma County and for the cool climate varietals.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get away from the Pacific, from the influences of the Pacific, like Alexander Valley, which is further north, we still get fog in the morning, but by 10 a.m. it blows off and we get heat. It gets up to 90, 100 degrees sometimes. And that's where Bordeaux varietals flourish. So on our estate winery there, we're growing Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Malbec, Petit Verdot, and a pinch of Beaucastel clone of Syrah. And all of that goes into Baby Blue, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
It's so delicious. I am drinking it right now.
Well, thank you. It is delicious. And year in and year out, it's our favorite wine to make because it's hard to make.
Yeah.
And the reason it's hard to make is that when you're trying to create a wine that is a great value, you don't have all the resources that you have when you're creating $100 wine, right? You
Right.
can't use a new French oak barrel and maybe it's not the top section of the vineyard. So our challenge with Baby Blue is like, let's make something that tastes like a $60 wine that sells for half that much.
Sure.
Mhm.
One of our values is to be a great value. I'm
Yeah.
the guy, just like you guys, right? You go out to dinner with friends and they say, "Oh, listen, you pick the wine. You pick the wine." So I'm the guy who picks the wine. So I, and I know they don't want to spend $200 on some brand. They want me to go to, explore something. They want me to spend 50 or $60
Right.
and get something that's interesting and great. So that's my job at the winery is to produce something that's wonderful that you can actually afford to drink and then get another bottle.
So is your cab sourced from Alexander Valley?
Yes.
Okay.
So so we have different levels of wine. So
Okay.
baby blue, this is our handshake wine. We
Hmm.
joke we send our babies into the world to make friends.
Okay.
And they really do. And so that's the introduction to Blue Rock. And they're not 100% estate. They're mostly
Hmm.
estate wines, but we do because they're a little bit bigger than what our vineyards can produce. We buy some grapes, but we have relationship with growers. We are in their vineyards, and then we always make the wine. Then you get to the Blue Rock estate wine, which is the Cabernet Sauvignon, and that is 100% estate.
Okay.
And then we have at the winery and available to a few select friends like you guys,
Okay.
we have best barrels. And best barrels, in this world full of like fake
Hmm.
reserve wines, like
Mhm.
remember Proprietor's Reserve from Glen Ellen with 3 million cases of reserve
Sure.
Chardonnay. So we said, well, let's actually make a reserve wine. So best barrels is what we do. That is the best that we can do, and it's if and when there's something that's great,
Hmm.
and we make a bunch of different ones because we make a lot of great wines every
Right.
year.
Now,
Awesome.
how big is Alexander Valley? Is it almost the size of all of Napa?
Oh no, Alexander
Isn't it?
Valley is pretty. I think it's a relatively small appellation.
Really?
And
Okay.
historically, Napa, because of Robert Mondavi, did such a great job of
Hmm.
putting Napa on the map that Napa has been able to, really uh, fashion itself as the pinnacle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Alexander Valley is really getting discovered now. I mean, there have been some great articles, by some of the leading press lately saying, "Hey, let's take a look at Alexander Valley Cabernet." Because there's just great wines, but they're really different than Napa. They're more elegant. This is just me talking. I don't want to say anything
Brag a
to.
little. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Well, no, it's my
I
personal
was
preference because
talking
I grew up
size
on European
wise.
wines. What was that?
I was talking size wise. It's roughly 22 miles long and 7 miles wide. So it's almost the size of Napa as far as size goes.
As far as size goes, yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, there's only certain sections that are actually
Right.
planted.
Hmm.
And but historically the grapes would go into these anonymous Sonoma
Hmm.
County blends. And you had a few great producers, but you can name them on one hand. There's, of course, Silver Oak, there's Jordan, there's Verite, but
Yeah.
it's not like Napa where you can name 100 of them.
Sure.
That is starting to change. I mean, you're starting to get small producers who are
Hmm.
making some great wines, and it's getting discovered,
Yep.
and that's what's fun. Making discoveries is
It
fun.
is. Rodney
So, Kenny, can
Strong, Roth.
you talk
Yes.
our wine club members through the three wines that we've selected and just maybe something a little bit special about each one?
Yeah, well, I created each one, so I certainly can. They're like my children. People always have, what's your favorite one, Kenny?
Right.
And it's like, well, what's your favorite child?
Yeah,
And it's like, well, it just depends on, how they're behaving that
that's
particular day.
right.
And that's true with wine also, is that it depends on your mood, it depends on who you're with and what you're having for dinner and that sort of thing. But Baby Blue Blanc is our Sauvignon Blanc blend. And I created that about 8 years ago. And when I say created it, is that I would, I with the public all the time and talking with them, and I'd find with Sauvignon Blanc that half the people love it and half the people hate it.
Hmm.
Yep.
And so I'd say, well, okay, the people who love it, what do you love about it? Well, I love the acid. It's great with food. It's great out by the swimming pool. It's refreshing. You ask the people who don't like it, and they say, well, I don't like the acid.
It's
I
too
don't like
sweet.
the grassy smell.
Yes.
So, all right, how do you like please everybody, but to make a great wine? I mean, there are ways of pleasing people and doing, residual sugar and all the kind of winemaker tricks, but that's not us, right? We're real winemakers. So, what we did is we said, let's take the best quality of Sauvignon Blanc. So, number one, start with great vineyards, like our Gapstone vineyard in the Petaluma Gap. Number two is add Semillon, like they do in Bordeaux. The
Okay.
role of Semillon is all about the palate. It smooths out the
Softens
hard
it.
edges on Sauvignon Blanc while still leaving the freshness and the
Hmm.
acidity. And then the addition of our Gapstone Vineyard Viognier gives it just a little bit of an exotic twist.
Hmm.
So you get some interest in the nose and you get some interest in the palate. You put all that together, and what do you got? It's just delicious.
It is.
And I get people who oftentimes say, I don't like Sauvignon Blanc, but you know what? This is the first one I've ever had that I like.
Hmm.
It's incredible. It really is. And very balanced. You just described it perfectly.
And it doesn't break the bank either,
No.
That's
Right?
the purpose of Baby Blue. It doesn't break the bank. You can buy another bottle,
Yeah.
right? Now, Baby Blue Red, that saved the winery. So, not intentionally. So, the first Baby Blue Red was 2008. And being a Francophile, I did what you do in France, is that we were replanting our vineyards. And in France, the young vines, they're not quite they're like children. They have the DNA, they're going to be great, but, they've got some maturity to go. You would create a wine that's more accessible. You can drink it while you're waiting on the Grand Vin in the cellar, and it's less expensive. So that was the original
Hmm.
concept. And we didn't want to create a second wine. We wanted not a second wine. We wanted a wine that stands on its own. They're each our children. They all have their spot. So we created this in 2008. And of course, when the recession hit,
Hmm.
everybody wanted a value wine. People who were drinking $60 Cabernet still wanted a $60 Cabernet. They just wanted to pay $30 for it. And that was Baby Blue, and it saved the winery.
Wow.
Mm.
It was really, and it wasn't by intent. I'm not that smart. It just happened that way. And so the idea behind Baby Blue, again, it's approachable, but it's a serious wine. It's a
Hmm.
very versatile wine. The blend, it makes the wine more approachable than a straight Cabernet Sauvignon.
Hmm.
So food-wise, you can have it with roast chicken, with roast pork. Yes, you can have it with steak, and it's great, but you're not limited to that. You can also really just have it as a cocktail. A lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, first time I tasted it was with Nick, our general manager in Ormond Beach. And
Uh-huh.
we both took a sip and looked at each other and went, wow, that's an incredible taste of wine. And it made us excited to taste the cab.
Well, the cab that was the first wine that I ever made.
Hmm.
So when we started, we just made the estate Cabernet Sauvignon, and that was 1999.
Hmm.
So we've been around for a while. We're just very
Wow.
quiet. We're just a word. We're word of mouth. People
Hmm.
discover us and they tell their friends, and like that's our business model. But the Cabernet Sauvignon, it's all estate, it's all hillside. The vineyard is next door to where Silver Oak Winery was. They moved out about 5 years ago. They moved
Okay.
closer to Healdsburg, but for 30 years we were next door neighbors. And it's made in a very elegant style. It is all French oak, but only about 30% new French oak. So
Okay.
you're really not, the oak will give it some texture, it gives it a little bit of complexity, but it's not heavy-handed at all. That's not our style.
Hmm.
And, it just has layers of flavor. It's beautifully balanced, and it's just a delicious wine. And again, it's premium, but it doesn't break the bank.
Yeah, it's what I'm drinking right now, and it's a kind of cab you don't need to have food with it. It's great.
You really don't have to have food, but that's the versatility is that, it's not a heavyweight. I
Mhm.
joke about some cabs being hairy chested, like,
Right.
here I am, right? And there's room for that because people like them, but there's also room for something that's different that has more elegance and has some restraint and
Mhm.
some refinement. And that's what we try to do. And I
Awesome.
think we do it too.
You definitely do.
You
All
got
right.
to come see us.
Listen, we
Yes.
are
I'm making
hands
lunch.
down. We're coming to see you.
We shot a wild pig.
Oh,
What?
nice.
I'll barbecue it.
Oh.
Come out and see us. I'm not kidding you.
Okay,
Great.
so where exactly are you located?
So the address is Cloverdale, which is
Okay.
the most northern part of Sonoma
Right.
County, but we're really like you could walk to Geyserville. So
Okay.
we're about 10 minutes north of Healdsburg.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as we were talking earlier, Healdsburg is just the most wonderful wine town
It's
because
It's
it has
beautiful.
everything, it's beautiful, and it's not overrun.
hmm
And it has us.
Yeah.
And I'm making lunch.
Listen, we are
Listen,
coming
we're
to
making
visit you.
dinner.
We're coming to visit you. All
You
right.
gotta
Well,
come.
it's only 1:30 out here. I can't start drinking yet.
Not with that attitude.
Listen, that's a limiting belief.
Bad attitude. I get it.
Best meal you've ever had with a glass of Blue Rock wine.
What's the best one I've ever had?
Yeah, the best meal with any of your wines.
Oh, the best meal I've ever had. Well, recently I made a lobster risotto
Okay.
with baby blue blanc.
Boom.
Could
Oh,
not have been any better. It's just like it was just a great combination with the sort of sweetness of the lobster. Not that baby blue blanc's sweet. It's not. It has no
Right.
residual sugar, but it just was a beautiful combination.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe I think when's Shelly coming back to the market?
February.
February.
Is it? Okay.
We need to do a Blue Rock wine dinner.
Let's do
So
it.
Yes.
it is on the books.
Oh, it
We're
is?
hoping for, yeah, we're hoping for February 26th with a, little asterisk on just how Shelley's schedule goes over the next 6 months. But I tell you what, Kenny, why don't you send us your recipe for your lobster risotto? We put in a recipe every month with the wine club to
Do
pair with
you?
each wine. So we'll put your recipe in there to pair with the baby blanc
Oh,
or
I
the
made it
Sauv
up. I kind of made it up as I
All
go.
right.
But I'll try.
Send it to
Wing
We
it.
me.
actually we
Just wing the
actually have some
recipe.
we do have some great recipes that are like super easy that go with
Okay.
the wines.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna look those up.
Okay, I will send you something. I will.
Good.
I'll
Good.
think about the lobster risotto. It's really good. Can you get lobster out there?
Oh,
We
yeah.
do. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
funny. The lobster shells are the most important part because you make the stock out of the shells,
hmm
and that
Yep.
has great flavor.
So we actually have a signature lobster bisque at the restaurant, and it's been a long-standing dish. It's always been on the menu, and it's
Okay.
an incredible way to start your meal.
Oh, sounds good. All right, I'll send you a recipe. I will
Perfect.
do it.
Send us a recipe. Kenny, thank you for taking time to spend with us. I think this is going to be very, very helpful for our wine club members, but also for anyone that's tuning in to watch our podcast. So thank you for taking time, and we look forward to supporting your brand. The wines speak for themselves. They're really awesome, and we're just a small family-owned company, just like you. So it really fits with our core values and our mission statement.
Well, thank you so much. And it's been a real pleasure. I'm going to come out and see you.
You have to. You have
We
to.
do.
My bags are packed.
All right. Perfect.
Maybe I'll come instead of Shelley.
You
Come
know
on,
what?
we'll take you
That
both.
sounds good.
Okay. You guys take care.
All right. You
Thanks,
too.
Bye.
Cheers.